Hi, this is Salty Potty Husband, or Todd, coming to you from my 18-wheeler. I'm coming to you because my wife has POTS, and we didn't find out about that until fairly recently. Thank goodness it didn't take her too long to be diagnosed with it, I guess you could say. It all started about 5 years ago when we didn't even know anything about POTS. She started to be really lethargic and really tired to where she had a hard time getting out of bed. She went to about 5 different doctors, and in the process of that, she ended up having a bone marrow biopsy, um, being tested for leukemia, and a number of different things that, if I told you now, it'd take forever. Anyway, she went to her final medical doctor, and or the one that she chose to be the last one. Um, I don't know how to word that. I'm bad with words, so and I also have what they call mush mouth. I don't enunciate very well. Anyway, and he asked her, has her vitamins and minerals ever been tested? She said no. They tested for all other exotic things, but not the simple things. So he said, we're going to test your blood. Came back, and he said if he never physically saw my wife, then he would have assumed that her blood work looked like an Ethiopian child who had been starving her entire life. She was extremely low on all of her vitamins and minerals, and her B12 was very, very low, almost dangerously low. He talked about putting her into the hospital. Well, she didn't want to do that, so she asked, "Is there any other way of going about it?" He said yes. So put her on a liquid multivitamin, and it was like uh, Flintstones on steroids. I didn't mind it; thought it tasted pretty good. I like Flintstones. She hated it. It looked like green oil. Anyway, all her vitamin levels started coming up, and she started feeling a little bit better. However, she wasn't 100%. So they retested her blood, and turns out her B12 was dropping, still dropping. And he tried just a B12 vitamin with no success. Tried sublingual underneath her tongue, no success. It turns out she has pernicious anemia. He talked about going in with a camera, radio, going in with a camera uh, and looking that way, but he said, we'll just test it a different way. He gave her a shot of B12, waited a week, took her blood work again, her B12 was up. Therefore, the test was conclusive. She had pernicious anemia. Basically, what happened is she was overweight for a long time, and because of that, had acid reflux, had ulcers in her stomach, all the way to bleeding ulcers. She was on 2 or 3 different types of ulcer medication or acid medication, as well as over-the-counter stuff. That killed something in her stomach called the intrinsic factor. The intrinsic factor is what allows you to absorb B12. Well, she had no more of it, so it wouldn't reproduce, so she couldn't absorb B12 even through her food. So now she's on shots. I give her a shot once every 4 days. Matter of fact, it was yesterday no, day before yesterday, she got her last shot. Well, started feeling a whole lot better. Everything was good. She decided to go back to college. She got her 2-year degree with 4.0, or local community college. Then she went to A&M and again got a 4.0 and graduated with honors and all kinds of ropes and badges and sashes and whatever. And uh, extremely proud of her. Extremely smart young lady. Then she got a job at the radio station that she used to work at, selling outdoor radio, outdoor advertisement. And she succeeded at that so well, she outdid her sales manager. Her sales manager was asking her for tips and tricks on how she was doing what she was doing. Then she started she started feeling bad again, started getting lightheaded and dizzy while she was driving. That was basically her entire job, is driving from client to client, developing client relationships. And she didn't feel it was safe. She would tell me about it, and she would say that she would pull over until the dizzy spells went away. Her heart would be racing, and then it would calm down. And eventually she made a doctor's appointment. And she talked herself out of it because around that time frame, her mom and dad separated after being together for 40 years. And she was going through a lot of stress. Well, her mom moved in with us. Her dad moved in with her sister. So she thought it was just anxiety causing all this to go on. I eventually talked her into going to the doctor, and the doctor said it was SVT. Basically, an extra nerve in her heart was firing, caused from a stressful situation. So I sent her to the cardiologist. Cardiologist just they put an external heart monitor on her, which was good, but the heart monitor had problems sticking to her skin, and the sticky tablets or sticky pads started to break her out so bad she was bleeding underneath them, and she had to have it on for a month straight, except for when she was in the shower. Well, it didn't come back with anything specific, and the cardiologist was just, no big deal. You know, your heart's racing a little bit, you don't feel good. Oh well. Well, that kind of upset me because this is my wife we're talking about. This is my heart beating outside of my chest we're talking about, other than my kids, of course. But so we found another doctor in Tyler, excuse me, Dr. Sicoli, extremely good doctor. As soon as he saw her, he got her in within the first week of her calling. As soon as he saw her, he hit her with a barrage of tests. He hit her with the tilt table test, the chemical stress test, and wanted to implant a heart monitor because he said the other doctor put on an external heart monitor. It worked via Bluetooth and cell phone reception, and he didn't trust it because it had a lot of interference with radio waves and other things. So he wanted something inside of her that would be more accurate, that didn't have to worry about all the other external influences. He could get more of a realistic picture of what's going on. So the tilt table test came back and said it could be a heart blockage. So they went in and did a heart cath. Heart cath came back negative, and that's when they put in the heart monitor, the internal. And she went back for the results of the chemical, I'm bad with words, I just said it a few minutes ago, I'm sorry, chemical stress test. And he said, because of that, it looks like you have dysautonomia. All these words are new to me. So he said that he's not very familiar with this dysautonomia, but he's going to refer her to a neurologist, maybe. Again, this is all new to me, so getting the words correct. Please be patient, I guess you could say. Anyway, so Misty, my wife, is going to go see him and get more information. The cardiologist says, yes, you do have dysautonomia, but I don't know enough about it. So I'm going to send you to somebody who does. That way we can get you the correct treatment and get this taken care of. Well, during this time frame, my wife found out about POTS. She got hooked up with the POTS group on Facebook, which you guys are awesome if you guys are watching this, and answered any and all questions. My wife has actually helped out quite a few individuals. She started her own YouTube channel, and my videos are going to bounce off of hers more or less because she's the one that's being affected. And I'm just going to tell you from the husband's point of view what's going on, how I feel, how I handle things, how I should have handled things whenever I messed up, because I'm human. And you wives out there, no, you're just a husband. Y'all mess up. True, but we can't always be perfect. But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of it. She has been diagnosed with dysautonomia. She is wanting to go to the POTS specialty clinic, I think is what it is, in Dallas, where they run all kinds of tests on you, find out exactly where the stress is coming from, teach you how to manage it, and can help control it. $7,000 for this. There's only one type of insurance that pays for it. Of course, we don't have it, so we're in the process of raising money or getting money to be able to do that. Otherwise, you guys are the best source of information, and we greatly appreciate everything that you guys have helped us and her out with. I can't support her on that aspect, but I support her on everything else. Anyway, that's pretty much this video. I'm going to link my wife's video to this. She has a lot more information. She's a lot more articulate. She's a lot prettier. And we're going to try to play off of each other on videos. So thank you for your time.